meeting. Where does the time go? It is November already. So we have some apologies, but firstly, just to welcome you to the meeting. And please be advised that this council meeting, welcome to those that are in the public gallery and just joining us in the gallery. Hello all, thank you for being here. Please be advised that this council meeting is recorded. It will be live streamed and will remain available to the public online. And all persons attending council meetings are to behave in a respectful and considerate manner and not engage in conduct or language that could be perceived as offensive, defamatory or threatening towards others. As is our custom, we'll start with the acknowledgement of country and our statement of values. Councillor Smith.
Acknowledgement of country. The Central Coast Council acknowledges and pays respect to the traditional owners of Lutruwita, Tasmania, the Pakana people. We acknowledge the Pana tribe of this northern country, and in doing so we celebrate one of the world's oldest continuing cultures. And our statement of values, guided by the diverse beliefs, experiences and backgrounds of the people we represent, we strive to make inspired and respectful decisions today that will build a better tomorrow.
Thank you so much. That takes us to item 1, attendance and apologies. And we have apologies tonight from Councillor Kate Wiley and from our Chief Executive Officer, Vicky Brereton. Item 2 is declarations of interest. Councillors and staff must declare any pecuniary or conflict of interest in any open session item on the agenda. Are there any declarations, please?
Yes, Mayor. Item 8.2.
8.2. Thank you so much. Any others?
No.
Thank you. Item 3 is confirmation of the minutes. So we're asking for you to confirm the minutes of the ordinary meeting from the 20th of October. Would a councillor care to move the resolution? Councillor Viney, Councillor Diprose. Any questions or concerns about the minutes or the accuracy of the minutes? I did call you Mr. Viney.
You did.
But I appreciate that. That would be your father.
That's right. Yes, and my grandfather.
My apologies.
Definitely not me.
Councillor Viney. Any issues with the minutes? No, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 4 is the Mayor's report. 4.1 is Mayor's communications. I just wanted to talk for a few moments about the Penguin 150. As it's formal, the formal events have now been completed. I'm sure you'll all agree it was a jam-packed year of everything Penguin. And we are certainly indebted to the Penguin 150 organising committee, led by Casey Hiskett, MLC, and very ably supported by our own staff, but particularly our Community Development Officer, Lee Gracie, who did an outstanding job. A number of great events that were enjoyed by a really broad range of the committee. So everybody from the governor down, really, which was lovely. So congratulations. We won't be here to see the 200, probably, will us? Any of us?
No.
Kevin thinks that he might be. But it was certainly a lovely celebration and a real team effort from both the businesses, the ratepayers of Central Coast who contributed to the event through sponsorship, and the sponsorship of private business. I think it really came together to show how fortunate we are to be here and the fact that everybody really enjoyed it. And I'm very proud to have one of the badges. So well done to everybody. Of course, we also got a stamp and a coin and national television. We got all those things. So it's a lovely way to celebrate. And all being well, the governor will be with us again next Friday. And we will have a tree planting ceremony to officially mark the end of the year of celebrations. And a thank you morning tea or lunch for the members of that volunteer committee, is to thank them for that work. So that will be particularly nice. That's all for me as far as Mayor's communications go. 4.2 is the Mayor's diary. Some amendments there. Unfortunately, I didn't get to attend because I ran out of time. The Burnie Cultural Precinct Stage 2 opening, but by looking at the pictures online, it looked like it was a fabulous day. Congratulations to Burnie City on that event. And the Wings Wildlife Park visit has been deferred due to their availability. And the Deputy Mayor attended the New Horizons Mini Olympics and Camp Clayton Have we missed anything? No. Are there any questions in relation to the diary? No. Would a councillor care to move the recommended
So
motion?
moved, Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, and seconded Councillor Lehman. I'll put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 5.1 is councillor communications. Councillors are invited at this time to make any reports on community activities or events or meetings that they have had. Are there any reports? Councillor Dickross.
Yes, there. I attended, as did you, the Youth Council, which was a great meeting. It was the last one for the year, where the students were able to give feedback as to what they thought they got out of it. Got to ask yourself and the CEO and myself a few questions, but it was great to see that those that were in years 9 and 10 looking forward to putting their hand up again next year, which is really good. But it was great to see that they really appreciated participating in the Our Homes, Our Future. And the consultants did a great job with them, and they really appreciated the feedback they got from the consultants, saying that they had never worked with youth before in that space. So that was great for them. And it was great for us also to know that. And they also really enjoyed doing work with some of the students at Ulverston Primary School as part of the PCYC stuff, which was happening there. So yeah, it was good to see, and yeah, look forward to seeing what happens with them next year.
Indeed. Thank you. Any other reports? No? We will move on then to item 5.2, councillors' questions taken on notice at the previous meeting. So there is a question there that came from Councillor Beswick, and the response is provided in the minutes for the purpose of record. 5.3, councillor questions on notice. No questions on notice have been received, and questions without notice. Any questions can be asked and answered at this time. Any questions from around the table for staff at this time?
No.
No? No. Thank you. 5.5, councillor motions on notice. No motions have been received. Item 6 is petitions and deputations. And the item there under 6.1 is the council received the attached petition requesting that council retain the current number of free parking spaces on Raby Street and within the Ulverston CBD. And note that the attached petition will be formally included and given due consideration in the Raby Street Revitalisation Project community consultation process. There's a report there for you. Would a councillor care to move that motion? Thank you, Councillor Diprose. Seconded, Councillor Lehman. Councillor Diprose, anything to add there?
Yeah, just want to say that it's great to see people put in a petition, and when they're interested in something, actually going out and putting that forward. And I just hope that all those that put their names to the petition actually participated and have had their say in the process, which they've been asked to do. So
good, thank you. Any other statements, Councillor Lehman?
Thank you. Yeah, it was a massive effort to put that petition together to retain the current number of parking spaces, and I do hope that we take the details of this on board when we come to making that decision, but understanding tonight that we're just receiving that and noting that we've received that, we can't make that decision tonight.
That's the task. Any other comments? No, anything to close, Councillor Diprose?
no.
No, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 6.2 is deputations. No request to address the meeting by deputations have been made. Item 7 is public question time. 7.1, questions taken on notice at previous meetings. My apologies. 3 questions were taken on notice at the 20th of October meeting. The council's written responses to these questions are sent directly to the questioner following the meeting and are now provided below for the purpose of record. You can see those there. Public questions on notice for tonight, there are none. And public questions without notice is item 7.3. Public questions without notice provides an opportunity for members of the public to ask questions of the council relating to our activities. statements and debate will not be allowed, and any questions should be clear and succinct. Members of the public may ask up to 2 questions without notice at this time. Please address your questions to me. For the purpose of the audio and the recording, there is a microphone at the end of the table, so we ask that you stand at the end of the table and just tell us your name and where you're from. We don't need your street address, just the town will be fine. And just let me know what it is that you wish to discuss. All questions are to be asked in accordance with regulations, lots of regulations in the local government meeting regulations, and are outlined in our policy. Please note that questions relating to any item for decision on this meeting agenda are not allowed in the interest of procedural fairness. And I can advise the public gallery again that this council meeting is recorded. It is live streamed, and we welcome those that are watching this evening, and remains available to the public online. So are there any questions from the public gallery, please? Welcome. Hello. Come in, sit down. Any questions from anyone this evening? Mr. Abood.
I wasn't going to, because there's been so much work in on the shop. I thought, no, I will bless you with one, because I just don't like those looking places. Sorry.
How can we help?
So yeah, Kevin Abood from Ulverston.
Mhm.
So each Central Coast Council monthly meeting is opened with Welcome to Country, which to some is intended to highlight the cultural significance of the surrounding area to a particular Aboriginal clan or language group who are recognised as traditional owners of the land. And I have been blessed with living in this beautiful part of Tassie for now over 12 years today, and have that duration known our waterway as Leven River. I was at a meeting recently and was talking to an Indigenous woman who claimed the traditional name translated was River Leven, of which I have found other references also. This leads thee to my first question, or to my question for tonight. Is Leven River the proper translation from the original language, or is River Leven more accurate?
Thank you, Mr. Abood. Firstly, the meeting starts each time with an acknowledgement of country, not a welcome. None of us are in a position to welcome you to this country. Our acknowledgement, as with other councils, is just to simply acknowledge the long history of this land and the shared custodianship that we share with it. Kukaninka is the original custodian's language for the Leven River, but in relation to the literal interpretation, Acting CEO Sam Searle. Sorry, I should have introduced Acting CEO Sam Searle. Sam is your CEO for this evening. Acting CEO, did you have a thought on the literal interpretation of?
Mayor Fuller, look, I am not sure what the actual correct interpretation is, and one day I would love to be able to answer one of your questions at the meeting, Mr. Abood. But unfortunately, I'll just need to confirm that for you, and we'll put that in writing to you after the meeting, so take that on notice.
Sure. Yeah, I'll just correct this.
Thank you so much. Any other questions from the gallery this evening? Thank you. That takes us then to item 8, which is council acting as a planning authority. The recommendation is that council resolves to act as a planning authority in accordance with the Land Use Planning and Approvals Act for 1993. This is in relation to the development application Surf Club Road, Penguin. Would a councillor care to move 8.1, please?
So moved.
Councillor Carpenter, seconded Councillor Beswick. Put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion is carried. Thank you. That takes us to 8.2, which is the development application in question, sports and recreation. Thank you, thank you, Councillor Carpenter. Everybody's a mister this evening.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. DA 2024-104, Sports and Recreation Communal Public Sauna, Lions Park, Penguin, Surf Road, Penguin. You have a full report there and a recommendation for your approval. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion for that item, please? Councillor Diprose, thank you. Seconded. Councillor Smith. Thank you. Councillor Diprose.
I just like to say that I think we need, well, I will be supporting the motion purely because it's here on planning grounds and there is nothing in there that I can speak against. Understand the issues that people may have. However, views and those kinds of things are not things that are considered within planning. I hope it goes well. It takes a lot to get these things up, and also just remember that it's only there for 1 year. That's just something that's being tried for now. So we'll just see how it goes and how the support for it goes. But as I said, as far as, you know, on planning grounds, there's nothing that I can say that I can vote against it.
Thank you. Other speakers? Councillor Smith.
Yes, I've just got 2 questions
Certainly.
with this.
For the CEO.
To say thank you. It is called Lions Park. Have they been informed as a courtesy about this? And the second question, does a decision of yes create a precedent?
So that would be the Penguin Lions Club, or the Lions
Yes.
Club of Penguin you're referring
Yeah,
to in the
Lions Club
first
of
question
Penguin.
there. Yeah, thank you. CEO.
Thank you, through you, Mayor. The Lions Club, the planning application itself doesn't require any communication with the Lions Club, but council as landowner certainly should reach out as a courtesy to the Lions Club. I don't believe that has occurred yet to date, so we'll certainly ensure that that happens if it hasn't done so already. In relation to your second question, does this resolution create a precedent? The decision that's before council tonight is a planning decision, so as a planning authority. So in that context, I hope it creates a precedent in line with compliance and consistent application of the planning scheme. But in terms of precedents for the use of the public land, which of course is a separate decision for council, there's no obligation or precedent that allowing the sauna to be in this location is certainly not something that council needs to have an obligation to consider again. I would just like to make the statement that the arrangement, as Councillor Diprose indicated, is for a fixed period of time, and is the nature of the development is that it's not permanent in nature. So I guess that just allows council as an organisation to assess how it's received by the community, and I guess just to provide assurance around the use of public land, and any permanent change in use or disposal does attract the requirements of the public land legislation, which requires public advertising. So anything for 5 years or longer goes through that process. But of course, tonight's decision is with our planning authority hat on, and hopefully that answers your question, does it, Councillor?
Thank you.
I'm not.
Thank you. Any other
Thank you.
speakers? Yes, Councillor Smith, did you wish to speak to the motion?
Yes, I would like. Yeah, I'm with it. I just wanted to, just for the transparency of it. That's why
Thank
I
you.
was asking those
No, that's
questions.
fine. You've received the answers. So any other comments?
No, that was no. I'm happy to
Thank you.
with that. Thank you very
Any other
much.
speakers? Councillor Perswick.
Yes, Mayor. As everybody's probably aware around the table, I've been born with this development, understanding planning somewhat. I'm not a planner, but having worked in that area for many years, the amenity of the local people here is being affected. The documentation supplied by our planners suggests that it's not. It's like anything, can be interpretation. For me, this project doesn't pass the pub test. We, as a council, have probably got some learnings that we can have, where some in-principle support was given for a few various sites to look at progressing a project like this. There was no specific position given to us at that time. So there's some learnings there that we could. I took the opportunity, and I've been down a couple of times to have a look at the site down there to see the effect that that's going to have on the locals there. And I just think it's way too far. I went and had a look at the company site at the Bluff in Devonport. That's in much more of an appropriate spot where it's sort of tucked away and not visible, visible from sub areas, but not visible from residences or beaches and stuff like that much. It's a beautiful spot, but it's public land, and we need to be very careful about what we are giving up as a council to use that beautiful piece of land. And the vista, as Councillor Diprose mentioned, nobody owns a view. Now, if I've bought a block of land and I'm going to build a house and I know there's another block of land beside me, I know I can get built out. But in this instance, this is not privately owned land. This is council controlled land, and this land is being gifted for 12 months, not gifted, leased for 12 months. And the effect that has on the residents nearby, to me, is a step too far. I'd encourage everybody that have objected to this because I may not be on council in 12 months' time, to just be aware that you'll have an opportunity to assess it then. As was mentioned in one of the representations, and I read them all, the best location for me was Johnson's Beach, where there was also already a container there, which would have fitted in really nicely near the beach as well. So that's probably where I see it, and on that basis, I can't support the motion tonight, me.
Thank you. Other speakers? Councillor Viney.
I will be supporting the motion because, as I see it, is a planning matter. It's already gone through the approval process, although that approval process will be looked at into the future. And I also accept that we'll be looking at this lease again in 12 months' time to see whether it is appropriate, etc. But at this stage, as a planning proposal, I can't but agree with the application.
Thank you so much. Just a clarifying question for CEO, because I'm mindful that I don't want to create expectations in anyone that might be listening or observing the meeting. CEO, do you envisage that the review in 12 months' time includes a public consultation process where members of the public would contribute to the potential extension for the arrangement? My understanding was that it would be something that this table would do, but based on Councillor Beswick's comment, I just and perhaps you are unsure at this stage.
Through you, Mayor. We haven't decided what that process would look like. It might be quite clear to us at the end of that period whether it's working or not without going through that process. We certainly wouldn't rule out that public engagement to measure its success. But as I said, if it's a more permanent arrangement, there would be some obligations. Consultation process.
Understood.
Quite likely public engagement process would help inform that decision.
Thank you for your answer. Other speakers? Councillor Van Ruin.
Yes, Mayor, I apologise earlier this evening. I indicated that I wouldn't be speaking on this matter, but I would like to explain my position on this. I will be voting in favour for the development tonight, but for those listening at home and those who will be reviewing later on, a lot similar to Councillor Beswick, I saw Oswell had reservations on a gut feeling of how public land is used, but that's not our decision tonight. It's a planning matter, but perhaps as a learning curve of how we use caution in planning in the future in this, and we'll look forward to that consultation in 12 months' time as to the community benefit and the outcome. It may open the doors for great entrepreneurial business on the Northwest, and we don't want to miss out on that, but we need to listen to our community as well. But on this instance tonight, we are voting on a planning matter, and therefore, under the requirements that have been met, I'll need to support that motion tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Councillor Lehman, you would be the only one remaining if you wish to speak.
Well, look, I'll just say that, look, everyone's really said what what needs to be said. It is being assessed on planning grounds here. The idea commercially has merit, but we're not here to, discuss or debate whether it should go there or not. Yeah, I have read through the documentation and I'm satisfied that the planning grounds have been satisfied. So I will be supporting it, but I do understand Councillor Beswick's concerns that he has raised today, and I think that we do need to look at this as an opportunity to revise and improve our internal processes in the future. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Councillor de Groot, did you wish to close?
No, just to acknowledge all those that put in a representation and to thank them for their time, whether it be for or against. I think they, it's a process that needs to happen, and the fact that they've taken time out to put it in words and send it to us, greatly appreciated.
Indeed. Thank you. I'll put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against?
Yes.
One against and noted, and the motion is carried. CEO, would someone look out Michelle second, please?
Thank you, Mr. Roberge.
Get a wage.
Very helpful citizens. Thank you, Kevin.
On payroll, so.
Appreciate that. That takes us to, welcome back, Councillor Carpenter, takes us to 9.9.1, which is the Chief Executive Officer's report. A full report there from the Office of the CEO. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion for this item, please? Councillor Viney, thank you. Seconder, please. Councillor Lehman. Councillor Viney.
Yeah, only to say this sets out our program of meetings, full meetings for next year, and it's something we have to do before the year starts. So, and I think most of the unders and overs, or the areas where we go in a week before or a week after, make perfect sense.
You are possibly talking about 9.2, which is the confirmation of dates. Is that
Probably
what you were
am,
thinking about? Sometimes we think things,
and we say things,
and those things don't go together. Is there anything in particular that you wanted to talk about in relation to 9.1, the Chief Executive Officer's report? Doesn't matter if there is nothing further for you to add.
No.
Happy with that?
All correct. Yep.
Fabulous, great. Anybody else wish to make a comment on the CEO's report? It's pretty succinct.
What's the some funny looks across the table?
You're doing well.
How about I put the motion? All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 9.2 is the confirmation of the 2026 ordinary.
I've already said it.
Councillor Viney is going to move that motion, and it will be seconded by Councillor Beswick. Councillor Viney, still happy with the meeting dates?
Happy with the meeting dates and what I said before.
Excellent. Thank you. Anything else around the table? No, fairly straightforward. I put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. 9.3 is council policy reviews. You have 4 attachments that relate to this motion: the election caretaker period policy, the digital recording policy, the public toilet policy, and the unsealed roads policy. And you have been asked to adopt some new ones and rescind the others. Would a councillor care to make to move the recommended motion for this item, please? Councillor Lehman, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Beswick. Thank you. Councillor Lehman, anything to contribute?
Look, not too much. Just that we are adopting election caretaker and digital recording policy, and pointed out earlier just that we have the wording to include all positions, not just the mayor and deputy mayor in the recording one. And we're rescinding the public toilet policy and unsealed roads policy, which are being rolled up into other
asset management policies.
Thank you. So look, the hope is that all the information that was in these has been transferred to the other ones. And yeah, that's it.
It doesn't mean that we're not going to have any more public toilets, does it?
That's right. They're all still there.
They will still be there. Any speakers in relation to the policies? Councillor Beswick.
Yes, Mayor. the first two are just fine tuning the caretaker policy and the digital recording policy, and so they make sense. The toilet policy, I had some concerns with that because the current policy has got a lot of criteria in there about locations, distances, and so forth like that. The management plan, the asset management plan, doesn't necessarily pick all those up, but I'm assured by our director that the public toilet plan, better get the right terminology here, because the public toilet plan is the important document if the other one gets rescinded, because that's the one which has got the localities, the distances and all that sort of stuff. That one's due for renewal shortly. So I'm happy to support the rescinding of that one, but this other document, I wouldn't like to see that one be rescinded and then it all gets rolled up into the asset management plan, which I don't think covers everything that well.
Sorry, forgive me if I've got this wrong. Are you saying that you are not agreeing to rescind?
I'm agreeing to rescind the policy,
Right.
but the plan, there's also a toilet
Yes, that's
management
right.
plan,
Yes,
which is the important document
is.
attached to the asset management plan.
where the work gets done. Thank you. Any further comments or concerns? I have none. I think we're transitioning from a time when council had a policy for everything, including a public toilet, to allowing a different level of operational management where they take care of the asset to a standard that we are all agreed that an asset should be maintained at. Sorry, who was the mover? Councillor Lehmann, anything to close? No, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion's carried unanimously. Thank you. 9.4 is the Local Government Amendment Targeted Reform Bill 2025. This is your submission for the state government for the targeted reform for local government for this year. And the recommendation is there that, having workshopped it and having been provided with the information and reaching consensus about your response before, the request is that you endorse the attached version. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion, please?
I'm happy to move
Councillor
that, Mayor.
Beswick, seconded. Councillor Lehmann. Councillor Beswick, anything to discuss?
Just briefly, Mayor, this is just a document that's been put together by our CEO after our discussion at the workshop. There's really only some minor amendments. It's a shame it's not going to be going a lot further than that, but that's another story for another day. I'm pleased with a couple of things that they've proposed. The mandatory counsellor learning, but also recognising prior learning. So that means that people, let's use Councillor Vine as an example, who's from an accounting background, might not need to do some learning in accounting and so forth like that. And also the remote attendance in meetings due to illness or caregiving. So it's a couple of promising or good ideas that are being proposed. So happy to support the document going off to the government.
Good. Thank you. Other speakers, please. Councillor Lehmann.
I just wanted to quote from the submission, and I will be endorsing the submission, but the additional administrative burden placed on councils by the proposed amendment is significant, particularly for smaller councils. And for these reforms to be effective, the Tasmanian government must support and resource the sector in the implementation and ongoing delivery of these reforms. I guess that is something that I'm happy that we've got that in there. I feel like these reforms are, I feel like they have looked in many places for answers and have come up with this list. And I don't believe it's going to be a sweeping, have any sweeping value for our communities. But having said that, if we don't respond to what they've provided to us, as in this amendment, then the change will happen to us and we won't be responsible for anything. So I'm happy that with the response that we've put together, but I don't agree with the amendments as a whole.
Understood. Thank you. The comments, please. No. So the problem when reform spans over a long period of time is that often the people that are considering submissions or thinking about the answers to the solutions have not been exposed to or have lost sight of the problem that we were trying to fix back in the day. So, of course, this work is a continuation of the report that was previously known as the Sue Smith report, and the consultation work and the identification of issues and potential solutions or suggestions took place in the term prior to this council. And it takes such a long time, and not a lot different than the recent submission we made in relation to the reduction of councillor numbers and allowances. It stemmed back there. So some good things that I have seen in relation to the recommendations, the government's recommendations of the reform. They are certainly taking place, the councillor misconduct provisions, and suffice to say, we've all seen examples of where we have thought that councillor behaviour across the state has been poor. So the opportunity for that to be referred to TASCAT is pleasing. Councillor Beswick has spoken about the training for councillors, which overall is a good thing. The instigation of a role statement and local government charter again stems from councillors themselves saying we are not clear about the wording under the Act and what it is that we are responsible for delivering. And if it's this, then that's okay. But if it's something else, then we're going to need extra resources to do it with. So there was some ambiguity around some of those roles, particularly in relation to social issues, health issues, welfare issues, climate change issues. So without a clarifying role statement, it was hard to argue that you needed more resources. And I'm particularly interested in the enhanced transparency of information in council rates. We have our own position there that's outlined in the statement, which will become a public document. People can view it as an attachment to this agenda. Through the state, it becomes a public document because we've been talking as one particular issue that our community has told us that they want transparency of is the issue of waste, the cost of waste, the real cost of managing waste, which hopefully gives people some greater ownership. When you can't see the real cost of disposal of waste, perhaps it makes it harder for you to maintain some responsibility for each doing a bit of our own heavy lifting. But it will be very interesting to see what comes out in the wash. But as you say, without making a submission, we're not a participant in the process either, aren't we? So, and that is due at midnight tonight. So when you've made that decision, the staff will forward it on accordingly. Sorry, who was the mover? Thank you. Anything to close?
Nothing to close. Thanks for your input, Mayor.
Thank you. I put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 9.5 is the Cradle Coast Waste Management Commercial FOGO feasibility request. You have been provided with a report. We've discussed it in a workshop environment, and you understand that what you are being asked to do is to provide in principle support to participate, along with other notes there. Would a councillor care to move the suggested motion for this item, please? Councillor Van Ruin, thank you. Seconded, Councillor Carpenter. Councillor Van Ruin.
Thank you, Mayor. As mentioned, this has been worked through in our workshop previously, and you noted that it is it's a support in principle, and it is that to look at the feasibility and viability for FOGO option for commercial. As a community, we need to continually strive to get better with our waste management. And as you just mentioned earlier, around transparency of the real cost of getting rid of our waste, we are a growing population and we're using more and more land. We all know the environmental impacts. So for myself tonight, I'd actually be in support of having a look at the feasibility of this option for the council and for the commercial residents as well. And I'll be supporting this motion this evening.
Thank you. Other speakers. Councillor Smith.
This is a commercial FOGO feasibility proposal. In principle support that we're looking at, and I think that needs to be understood by everyone. We have to note that the decision on the final approval is to be made following the other council's decision on this. So that's all I really have to say with that. Thank you.
Other speakers?
Just
Councillor
briefly, Mayor, endorse the other two councillors, and it is an in principle support, and we've got to be quite clear that it's not one thing that one council can run alone. So we all must be aware that we've got to get waste, especially FOGO, food and organic waste, out of landfill, and as it's been printed out in the reports and what you spoke about before, the cost of waste is incredible. It's never ever going to get any cheaper. It's one of those things that's just going to be more and more expensive. So if it can be made workable and get that amount of waste out of landfill, it's worth doing. But it's one of those services where all of Bradman's nearly got to be in it, plus more. It's how we advocate that across to everybody that's involved in commercial businesses and understand the ongoing effects of putting in the landfill and that waste levy, what it might be in 10 years' time. In 10 years' time, it could be too late to start the commercial FOGO business, which we should be doing now. So we've really just got to try and keep advocating and being a supporter in principle of this going forward, and hopefully other council areas will, see the value of getting their waste out of landfill. But yeah, totally endorse this in principle.
Thank you so much.
Report.
Other speakers? No, nothing? Oh, sorry, who was the mover?
Myself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I apologise. I've stopped taking notes. That's very poor of me. Councillor Van Rooyen, anything to close?
No, thank you. Nothing else to close on there. Just acknowledge the extra additional comments made by Councillor Smith and Councillor Carpenter. As that, yes, we also need the support of our neighbouring councils as well in moving forward. But the more we investigate into reducing waste, reducing cost, or whatever it might be for our future generations, is a worthwhile investment.
I'll put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion is carried. Thank you. Item 10 is community services. There are no sessions, no items in the open session, which just takes us to 11, corporate services. 11.1 is the financial report. You're being asked to receive the financial report for the period ending the 31st of October. When you're ready, could I have somebody move the recommended motion, please?
So moved.
Councillor Viney, seconded. Councillor Van Rooyen. Councillor Viney.
Yes, I'm pleased to move that we receive the financial report for the period ending 31st of October 2025. It's a very clear and concise report, as has been the situation for at least 18 months. The report is getting better and better, and what I note with this report is that most of the line items come in on track or favourable. There are a few that, well, very few that are shown as not favourable, but on in the total situation, we're certainly on track with the 4 months reports. And I'd like to thank Director Searle, even though you're acting CEO at the moment, for you and your staff putting this report together for us. Very clear and concise report.
Thank you. Other speakers? Councillor Van Rooyen.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. As we've mentioned in other meetings, we often refer to the traffic lights, the green and the red, going through. And if those at home or those listening haven't picked up the report and read through it, I encourage them to do so. It's actually, it's a report to be proud of, that we've got a budget that is on track and tracking quite well for halfway through the financial year. As Councillor Viney has mentioned, there is only very small variance that is that's off track. Two of those items, one being employee costs and materials and contracts. So like any small business, whether you're a corner shop or whether you're a multi-million-dollar organisation, the two variables, which is your COGS, your cost of goods, and your staff, are two that are very hard to control. But look, in basics, in what's being presented, I endorse that we accept the report this evening. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. Other speakers? Anything to add? No, nothing from myself. Councillor Viney, anything to close?
No, thanks.
Thank you. I put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 11.2 is the audit panel charter. You have a new charter there for your consideration. It will supersede the previous version, which was in January of this year. Just noting the that the Capital Delivery Advisory Group will be disbanded and offering a 12-month independent member appointment to Mr Matthew Bresky. Will the councillor care to move the recommended motion for that item, please? Councillor Smith, thank you.
There you go.
Seconded, Councillor Carpenter.
Done.
Councillor Smith.
I think everything's been said there, and you explained it well.
You're comfortable and satisfied with
Very,
it?
yes.
Excellent. Any other speakers, please?
Yeah, just quickly, Mayor, appreciate this going forward, and I think it's a good move and it's in the right direction. And it's a good discussion at our workshop over this, and where we see this going forward. Like what I'd really do like is the appointment of another independent member. It's a move that we've been waiting for some time, especially on asset management and assets inside that audit panel. So it'll be a really interesting 12 months. As the rest is written there, Mayor, so totally endorse it.
Thank you. Any other contributions? Councillor Beswick.
Just briefly, Mayor, having observed as a proxy on the audit panel and also been on the Capital Advisory Group panel as well, I think this is a good move. As Councillor Carpenter mentioned, to have somebody with asset experience on the audit panel, I think only going to improve that process. So I fully endorse this charter moving forward.
Fabulous. Thank you. Any other comments? No, for me, I just wanted to thank the members of the Capital Delivery Advisory Group. As you'd be aware, that was a group that we pulled together some 2 years ago, perhaps, when we knew that there was an issue in relation to the percentage of capital projects that we were getting delivered, and we needed to spend some time very deliberately and consciously unpacking the reasons why so that we could rectify that. And the numbers have started to bounce back faster than I anticipated, which I'm really pleased about. So again, I welcome the expertise of Mr Gresky, but thank those. It wasn't only independence, it was additional work for the staff and some of our infrastructure staff members as well. So just wanted to thank them for their deliberate and honest conversations and look forward to using this model going forward. Councillor Smith, anything to close?
That we're on the right track with this, and the transparency again is great, and that's what this council is all about, is transparency.
Thank you. I put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 11.3 is the credit card policy, version 5. Fairly self-explanatory, I would have thought. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion? Thank you, Councillor Diprose. Seconded, Councillor Viney. No, Councillor Diprose.
As you said, Mayor, it's quite self-explanatory, and people know that once they're giving a credit card to you for anything, there is always responsibilities that go along with that, and certain checks and measures that they have to do, and this just puts it all in there very, very clear, to make it easier for everyone to make sure that they know what they need to do.
Thank you. Any other contributions? Councillor Viney.
Yes, as we know, credit cards are just another tool we use in paying bills for goods and services, and from time to time we need to adjust who can use them, what limits, and how they are treated within the system, which is very important, and that's what we're doing now.
Indeed. Any other contributions, Councillor Smith?
Our ratepayers can be assured that we are looking at all these things, and that we have taken this really seriously, and then, again, get back to transparency, that's what it's about.
Excellent. Councillor Beswick.
Interesting. While I'm sitting here listening and thinking, see the cogs going around.
I could hear something.
You can hear something squeaking. What's our policy if the credit card system's down there, or CEO for staff that might need to get fuel and so forth like that? Because having seen it and experienced it myself sometimes, we've got our credit card policy, which is very easy. Is there a system?
What system being down? You mean internet or
internet down and you can't use your credit card?
Yes.
For our staff.
Through you, Mayor, obviously if the internet's down, those cards become unusable.
That's right.
And yeah, it can cause operational disruption because they are an important tool that we use to purchase goods and services. But our use of credit cards is not very widespread. So there's only, I think we have about five or six in total for more than 200 employees. So there's not a significant impact, but certainly an inconvenience associated with those systems being down.
But I fully endorse the policy, Mayor.
Councillor Diprose, anything to close? No, I put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion is carried. Thank you. 11.4, one of the most exciting things on tonight's agenda is the Community Satisfaction Survey for 2025. You're being asked to receive the attached survey results and the engagement report, and note that the findings will inform future planning, reporting and the induction of the council coming into the next term. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion for this item, please?
So moved, Mayor.
Moved Councillor Beswick, seconded Councillor Van Rooyen. Councillor Beswick.
Yes, Mayor, as you've just mentioned, this is a document that is going to be used for future planning, and as you've mentioned, and for the induction of our incoming staff. A couple of points that I did note, just to raise, that the community's got 76% overall satisfaction in us as a council, and 74% confidence and trust in the council. A couple of key measures, that without going right through the whole document, but that was just a couple of things I wanted to pull out for the discussion tonight, Mayor. But yes, it's a great piece of work being done. Thank you.
Thank you. Other speakers? Councillor Van Rooyen.
Thank you, Mayor. I was, as we discussed this in a workshop earlier and had a look at the results, and how nice it was to actually look at those results and the confidence and the satisfaction across the community that they have in the actions of the council, in the services being provided, and the way that the council is interacting with the community as well. It's very good to see. But Mayor, I'll just point out that I was not surprised. We live in a great community, and I believe our council is doing great things. So I wasn't surprised to see good results, but it's good to see that we are on track. The community is responding positively to the work that's being done. And the areas identified around improvement for works, our services, things like our rubbish and roads and footpaths, the things that we stand for council, is still what's important to our ratepayers. And it's good just to take that temperature and gauge that that's what's important to them, and that we are heading on the right track, and very happy with those results.
Thank you. Other speakers? Councillor Lehman.
Thank you. Yeah, fantastic report and really good report card for us as a council. I do want to make sure that we do consider all age groups and ways that they engage in the future, and just to make sure everyone can access these kinds of surveys and indeed know about them as well. But overall, a great piece of work, and it looks like council is not just roads, rates and rubbish, we're roads, parks, rubbish and toilets.
Other speakers?
And can I just add community wellbeing on that as well?
And climate change and erosion.
Over the top four.
Beaches, that's exactly right. No, personally for me, very satisfied, as the report shows, and as you already know, we haven't undertaken a report this thorough for 10 years. In line with our engagement and communication strategy, we've resourced our community engagement team for the first time in a long time. So we have 2 staff that are actively working in the areas of making sure that people know what's going on, and facilitating an opportunity for them to tell us what they think is best or most important to them. So that strategy requires us now to do this survey work every 2 years. I think using the My Central Coast platform, even though, to your point, it doesn't reach every member of the community, it's not everybody's preferred tool, but we'll continue to find ways of allowing people to participate. But I'm very pleased also with not only the fact that people are overall satisfied with the performance, overall think that we're telling them about what we're doing in a much better way, but the friendliness and approachability of our staff again shone through, and that comes as no surprise to me, to pick up on Councillor Van Rooyen's point, but just wanted to congratulate the staff, Sam, from your team that were involved in putting the survey together, and I'm sure they've learnt lots of things, and we've heard lots of messages to allow us to continue to improve. So our sincere thanks to all of those who participated. And now we've got some good benchmarking that we can compare against in future years, and decide whether the report card is continuing to improve, or where we can do better things. So yeah, thank you for all those involved. Councillor Beswick.
I think everything's been said. Thanks, Mayor.
I'll put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion's carried unanimously. Thank you. 12.1 is the asset management policy, talking as we have tonight about taking care of our assets. You've got the policy version 4, and the recommendation is that you adopt this version and note that it supersedes the previous one. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion for that item, please? Councillor Smith, seconded Councillor Dick Rose. Councillor Smith.
I think it's all been said again with this one. It's just an update, and it's important, of course, but I think I can't add really much more to it than that. Just keeping it updated.
Good, thank you. Any other speakers? Councillor Beswick.
Just I suppose, just noting the conclusion there, basically it's just bringing the new policies, bringing it up to best practice of our asset management, and just, you know, like as with tonight, it's all been about policies and documents. But again, it's just, I'll just read this part here. Best practice asset management by the organisation to ensure long-term financial sustainability alongside continued service delivery. You know, so yeah, it's an important part, as well as bringing an asset person onto the audit panel as part of that too. So happy to endorse that, Mayor.
Thank you so much. Any other speakers? No, it is the cornerstone of what we do. Thank you for the revision. We know that we have some key members of our team who are responsible for monitoring and documenting. Once again, harking back to what we discussed before, we need to agree on what those service levels are, so that our team can do their work and the community knows what to expect. But thank you for the updated policy to the team. If there's nothing further, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. It takes us to 13, which is strategic growth. 13.1 is the development support determinations. So a list there of the determinations made for October. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion for this item, please? Councillor Van Rooyen, thank you. Councillor Dick Rose, seconded. Councillor Van Rooyen.
Yes, as we look at those development support determinations, it's the report, as usual, in every month provides us a dashboard of activities that are happening around the community with different issues, whether it's from parking to building applications to it could even be infringements, Mayor. And look, we're only as good as our measure. It's good to look at the dashboard and see how we're going. For myself today, Mayor, I did review this again coming in. And the one thing that stood out to me was abatement notices. And although it's not a massive one, it's a reminder we're in that season. Things are growing for our residents, just to be mindful that summer will be upon us soon. And it's an important thing to be careful. That's everyone's responsibility to make sure that we're fire safe and prepared for the upcoming summer season.
Indeed. Thank you. Other speakers? For me, an impressive dashboard. You know, there's over $1 million worth of discretionary development applications there in 1 month, and the numbers are all green under the days taken to approve applications. Once again, our staff punch well above their weight in relation to exceeding those targets. So no permit required. The KPI is 10 days. Our time for the month of October was 4.5. Congratulations to the team, and probably goes hand in hand with the customer satisfaction survey, I would say. That was my comment. I'm always excited and pleased to see those numbers. Anything further No, anything to close, councillor Van Rooyen?
No, nothing to close.
No, I'll put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. 13.2 is the dog management policy. So you have a recommendation there that we adopt the dog management policy, which is version 7 and supersedes the previous one that must be 5 years old now. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion for this item, please?
I'm happy to move it.
Councillor Beswick. Thank you. A seconder, please. Councillor Carpenter. Councillor Beswick.
Yes, Mayor, this is, as has been mentioned with all these other documents, it's been workshopped. It was workshopped before it went out to the public. It was thrashed out round the table, so to speak, and there was a large amount of feedback from people, users, non-users, people without dogs. There was some robust discussion about some of the beaches where we are making some changes on. But in the end, as a dog owner myself, we need to be mindful that there's some people who don't want dogs on some beaches. One of the sticking point ones may have been Johnson's Beach in Penguin. I'm happy with where we've landed with that one. After going through all the information that was provided with the survey, talking to people, listening to others that might have had a different opinion. But yeah, I'm happy to endorse what we've got, before us this evening. I would encourage all dog owners, in the end, I was speaking to ourselves, but for those that may be online watching, that in the end it's a responsibility that we have. It's interesting. One person said to me that in an email that the council needs to supply more dog bags around where we're going to beaches and so forth. To me, that is a responsibility as a dog owner, just like buying food for your dog, that you buy dog bags from the supermarket, or we get a box online. It's not the council's responsibility. They're there for an emergency, so to take the responsibility as it is. Pick up after your dog, because that's one of the biggest complaints that we do get, and do the right thing when you're out in public and have your dog under control. But I'm happy to endorse what we've got there. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you so much. Other speakers, please.
Go, Councillor Lehman.
Councillor Lehman.
Thank you. I was just going to say, it's really hard juggle to balance the needs of dogs and dog owners and non-dog owners and the community. So I think the staff have done a great job of putting the policy together, and I'm happy to endorse this.
Thank you. Councillor Carpenter.
Thanks, Mayor, and totally concur with Councillor Beswick and thank him for his endorsement there, because I think sometimes we've got to be upfront, and I totally endorse these subtle changes, and they are subtle. They are subtle changes, and we are a community of 20,000+ people. So I think on this new policy, everyone is somewhat catered for, and it wouldn't matter what parts and what beaches, the dog free or whatever, there'll always be somebody that's going to be living a little bit further away and it's going to feel disadvantaged. But I think across the whole policy, we've catered for everybody as well as we can. And I think Councillor Beswick, without saying too much, put it extremely well. And the amount of problems we have with dogs and so forth. And I just hope that people were listening to you, Councillor Beswick, because if you can get that message across, it would solve a lot of problems.
Thank you. Other speakers. Councillor Riney.
Yes, I'll be approving the changes to the dog management policy. It did go out to consultation, and we did get a wide range of views at that time, and it's impossible to keep all the people happy all the time, but I think we've come in with a happy medium of where we should and where we shouldn't have dog exercise areas, and our dog policy, etc. Thank you.
Thank you. The other speakers. Councillor Van Rooyen.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I also will be supporting this report tonight and the changes. Dog owner myself, similar to Councillor Beswick, and took it upon myself to speak with many dog owners across Penguin and Ulverston and out and about, and people look at you a bit funny when you approach them for a quick conversation. but I was very encouraged by the responses of those people I spoke to, in the fact that we, as a council and their staff here, have consulted and considered that there are people who enjoy walking their dog on the beach and they want an off-leash area. Great. There's people who want to walk their dog on the beach, but maybe their dog's not sociable and they need to be on a leash and don't want to be approached by other dog owners. So we've also responded to that request as well. And as much as I'm a dog owner, I love being at the beach for a swim. And I love dogs, but I don't love someone else's wet dog, only mine. And I think we need to respect that. So we have all sorts of different opinions. I'd like to thank the staff for the consideration they've put into it. I'd like to thank the people who have responded on the surveys, whether you agree or disagree with the proposal put forward. My belief is that the council has acted in the best interest for the entire community, to capture the needs of the many. So therefore I will be supporting this tonight.
Thank you. I'll speak as Councillor Dick Rose.
I just declare myself as a cat owner. Don't have any dog. A responsible owner with 3 indoor cats. But what I see we've done here is that we've had a good lot of representation for all needs and wants, and I think we've come up with best balance that we possibly can do.
Thank you. Councillor Smith.
Yeah, I'll also be supporting this policy. I believe that the staff's done a wonderful job in with discussion with the community. Everyone's had their say. I know it's not an easy situation to have everyone, some like dogs, some don't, but in the end of the day, I think it's fair. And that's a word that I'd like to use. It's fair. It's fair to all concerned in this municipality. And that's what we have to be look at. Is it fair? And I can honestly say that it is. So I don't think I could say any more than that.
Thank you. If I may, I just want to touch on the use of My Central Coast as a tool for this, and I refer you to the agenda. There were 1,126 unique visitors who used the consultation website, and the feedback was received from 210 contributors. Recognising that not all community members are comfortable with online platforms, Council provided alternative participation methods. Hard copies of the policy and maps were available from our Administration Centre and Penguin Service Centre. We had flyers, postcards were distributed at veterinary clinics and pet shops. Posters with QR codes were placed at beach access points, and compliance staff handed out materials and assisted members of the public during routine patrols. Staff entered survey data on behalf of 8 people and provided phone and email assistance to 11 other people. 72% of those that put in were dog owners and 28% were non-dog owners, and there was a good range of ages, which I think again is representative of perhaps those people that are enjoying the beaches with their dogs, perhaps mostly in retirement or so forth. So I really feel, as you know, this is a policy that we have to do every 5 years, and Councillor Carpenter, I don't think I'm alone in saying that every 5 years you dread doing it. Because you know that it is, close to people's hearts. It's something people feel very passionately about as they do the care of their animals, and it is always a tricky balance between getting it right and suitable for everybody. But as Councillor Smith has said, I'm also comfortable that it's very, very fair, and I would go as far to say that our engagement and the opportunity for input and capturing people's wants and needs has been done more thoroughly this time than certainly any of the, maybe I'm up to 3 iterations of this policy. So my congratulations to the staff concerned, and I know many staff of the directors team went above and beyond to make sure that people had their opportunity to have their say. So we will, as people have asked me numerous times why we were doing it again, what was wrong last time, we're required to do it every 5 years. And the reason you do that is because your community looks different every 5 years. Your age demographic changes, the amount of people that own dogs changes, people's needs changes, wildlife needs changes, coastal erosion needs change. But I think we've done it really well this time. So congratulations to all. Councillor Beswick, did you wish to close?
Yeah, just a couple of things. I meant initially to mention Watkin Beach. We had one minor alteration in this 5 years where we allowed Johnson Beach to become a dog beach, but that was mainly because Watkin Beach at the time was having a lot of major works being done, some coastal erosion work being done, and that was where we were needed to readdress what we'd done there. I'd like to thank Councillor Smith for raising the fair part, because I agree, as you did, Mayor, that fair is what this is. That dog owners shouldn't have expectations, because we need to be fair to everybody else in the community. As also was mentioned, as far as getting this out and getting it out to the people, the communication piece from here on, and then signage to reflect those changes, and good clear signage that is right across the whole municipality, so you can basically walk onto a beach and you can see the sign, dogs on lead, you know, red, green, yellow probably. Yeah, thanks for everybody for your contributions, and again, as everybody else has said, thanks to the staff for the work that they've put in, and no doubt it's been trying at times. Thank you.
Thank you. Put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. 13.3 is the Mersey Leven Industrial Land Study. You have received a copy of the study. The request is that you endorse it, that you request the Minister for Planning, the State Planning Office and the Cradle Coast Authority to consider the study as an important input into relevant state and regional work, and consider the concept of the Mersey Leven Major Enterprise Precinct in more detail through the Strategic Alliance. Would a councillor care to move the recommended motion for this item, please? I'd like to move it myself, but I can't from here. Thank you, Councillor Smith. Seconded, Councillor Van Rooyen.
Lost my computer.
Councillor Smith.
No, I think it's self-explanatory.
That's fine. Thank you. Anybody wish to comment on this piece of work?
Don't have any comments, Mayor.
Thank you. I would just say that it's a very exciting opportunity to work together with the Devonport Council, Latrobe Council and Kentish Council. This is the first piece of work that we have done collaboratively as an alliance of those four councils. There was a time in the past when this would not have happened. So this type of collaboration, which results in more efficient use of resources and hopefully some better strategic outcomes, comes because of the willingness of the leadership of those four councils. And I'm excited to receive this, and I look forward to sharing it with the Minister for Planning and the State Planning Office and everybody else, and telling them how fabulous it is. Have you got your computer back?
No.
Oh.
I'll have to go to my iPad.
So that, I think it's an exciting piece of work, and I encourage people that might be interested in developing new sites to look at this piece of work and talk to us about it. If there's no other comments, Councillor Smith, Mr. So there, Councillor Smith, anything to
No,
close?
it's just that it's great to see this. As you did say, this probably would not have happened not so long ago. It just shows that good teamwork, and everyone will benefit around this area.
Thank you. I'll put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. That brings us to the closure of the public part of the meeting. The decision is that the council by absolute majority close the meeting to the public to consider other matters. Would a councillor care to move that recommended motion, please? Councillor Van Rooyen. Seconded, Councillor Diprose. I put the motion. All those in favour, aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion is carried. Thank you. And this meeting is now closed to the public at 7:13 p.m. Thank you so much for taking time to join us this evening. We hope to see you in December for Christmas wishes.
Yeah, Jim.
This is lead under your feet there.
Yep, please, I've got his name.